Hi everybody, and welcome back to episode 3 of series 1 of the intraday trading course here at Prosperity Academy. In today's episode, we're going to be going over the final compartment of structure, right? And that final compartment is substructure. So there are 3 different types of structure. There's order flow, which you've already been informed on. There is the trend, which is already being informed on, which is inside of a swing level of order flow is these parts. Inside of these parts is a trend. Then there is substructure. Right? There's 1, 2, 3. Now here's where it gets very interesting, because they are essentially very, very similar in terms of the way they are perceived, right? If you have order flow, and then in each of these order flow levels, there is a trend. Let's make this one. There is a trend. Order flow, of course, as we already all know now, but we'll recap the external swing points. Trend, the internal swing points, shift, just an order flow pullback, shift, order flow continuation. Well, if you look in and zoom into one of these, because it's fractal, it will look the exact same, right? Now let's forget that this is order flow. This is now trend, right? The internal of trend. And these dotted lines or dash lines are substructure. It's the exact same thing, right? Essentially, substructure is the internal swing points of the internal swing points of order flow. And so just to very much clarify that and clear it up, trend is the internal swing points. And then if you zoom into one leg of trend, there will be inside of that trend, a trend. And that is called a fractal, right? You look at the Fibonacci, it's a fractal of 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 a fractal. And that's essentially what it is. And that's the power of the market. And that's why it's multiple time framed, right? The monthly, well, the weekly is a fractal of the monthly. The daily is a fractal of the weekly of the fractal of the monthly. The 4 hour is the fractal of the fractal of the fractal. But also they're relative to each other. The 4 hour is a fractal of the daily. The 1 hour is a fractal of the 4 hour. The 15 is the refractal of a 2 hour. A 1 is the fractal of a 15 minute. A 5 second is the fractal of a 3 minute, for example, right? It's all about fractals. And the 3 different structure pieces are exactly the same. On one hand, you have the order flow, and then you zoom into the order flow, and then you have the trend. And then you zoom into the trend, and then you have the substructure. And if you zoom into the substructure, you'll have more substructure, but we don't actually need to use that. But it will go on and on and on and on and on and on for infinity. So yeah, that's it. Like, there's nothing more to explain. And then how to understand it on the charts. If you just come back from the last video and you watch these back to back, then you'll understand we'll be going over the same piece of price action, which is the M15 on EU. We've understood that the order flow points are from here to here to here to here. And then inside of this order flow point right here, if you zoom in, right, from this high to this low, you'll see this is the trend. Low, high. Low, high, break of structure. High, low. Low, high, break of structure. Low, high, break of structure. Low, high, break of structure. So let's mark them up, right? Low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high. The internal swing points of structure. Now the same is then true of, did I mark this up as a high? My bad. High. The same is then true, and this is how we understand structure, right? So now we have one leg of a trend. Let's go ahead and zoom into that. Let's zoom in to the trend if it's in of itself, right? And let's actually replay price. So we know that this is forming a trend right now. And what do we have here, right? So let's play a candle. Let's actually remove the draw. Let's actually remove all the drawings and then explain this, because it's very important points. So what do we have now? Now it's just no different, right? We have a shift down and then a shift up. And what's that called? That's called a minor break of structure. Okay, let's continue. So you can see now price pulls back. Price pulls back. Break of structure. This is inside of the trend, right? Price pulls back. Minor break of structure. The internal swing points, right? This, 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 this. Break of structure. Internal swing points. This is the low that put in the high. What do we have? A minor break of structure to the downside. So now the minor structure is bearish, but all it's doing is having a pullback in the trend itself, right? Swing to swing. And then inside the swings we have minor structure. And this can be better perceived on the lower time frame. And I'll get onto that point in a minute. That's it, area of demand. Does it hold that? I'm not sure. No, comes back down deeper into this leg of demand from this high to this low, more than likely. Yep. Let's zoom in. Minor break of structure. That's probably a trend break of structure, right? If you zoom out now and you look at that, boom, boom, boom. And inside, these minor points are structure. Let's keep going. Minor break of structure. What does that mean? That just means that the trend is pulling back. Minor break of structure. It can be very much better understood on the higher time frames, right? On the lower time frame, sorry. Minor break of structure. Minor break of structure. And then away she goes. And that is the trend leg, I believe. Yeah. So that one trend leg there, look at the minor. minor, 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 minor. And this then, if we do something like this and go down to a 1 minute, like we did with the 4 hour and the 15, those minors become what on the 1 minute? Your structure points, right? Low, high, low, high, low. Maybe even not this here. Maybe just straight to this high, then low, then high, then low. And so the minor breaks of structure are understood, better perceived on the 1 minute, right? Then we have a shift. And then move back up and move back down. As you can see, now we're understanding the minor breaks of structure are the 1 minute trends pretty much. And that is how we perceive it. And that is how it looks like on the M15. And then, like we said, we can go fractal, 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 but we're not going to confuse it because it's not necessary. And then we put in the high and then it reverses completely. So you can see, right, how the minor breaks of structure, the minor structure, because this right here, all of this right here, okay, that was terrible. All of this price action is just what? Let's go to the 15 minute. All of that is just one level of swing structure on the M15. All of that price action. And inside of that, there is a trend in and of itself. And then there is substructure. And the substructure is the minor swing points within the trend. Just like order flow and trend is the minor swing points within the order flow. It's the same thing, but just on a different scale, different time frame, different fractal. And that's essentially all there is to the minor structure series. Very short, very sharp, very simple to understand. Just one more recap. If order flow is the external, and then structure, trend, and then trend is the internal of that, then if you just zoom in to one of the trend legs, just one of the trend legs, if this is order flow, external, 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 and then inside is the trend, and then you go inside of just one of the trend legs, and now this is your trend, the internal structure, and it's the same thing. It will look like this, and this will be now considered as your minor structure, your minor breaks of structure, right? That's literally all there is to this section. Thank you guys for watching. Any questions, please drop them in the Discord. They will be answered. And then go ahead. Thank you guys.